June 4th meeting of the Appointments Committee. I now call this meeting to order. Please be advised that FATV is conducting an audio and video recording of this meeting for public broadcast. I ask that anybody else in the audience who is recording this meeting to please identify themselves for the record now by standing and stating your name and city of residence. Seeing none, at this time I ask that all electronic devices be placed into silent mode. So we have two new appointments. The first new appointment, Michaela E. Horn as Treasurer and Tax Collector in Training, effective June 5th, 2024, followed by official appointment as Treasurer Tax Collector on June 22nd, 2024, for a term to expire June 22nd, 2027.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Jackie Cronin, the City Auditor. Michaela Horn has served the City well as Assistant Treasurer for the past 24 months. During that time, she has demonstrated a great deal of initiative and leadership in a fast-paced and intense working environment by setting out to improve financial procedures within the Treasurer's office and among city and school departments. Ms. Horn earned a bachelor's degree in accounting from Nichols College and has built on that solid foundation with 9 years of municipal service in the increasingly responsible roles of school district accountant, assistant town accountant, and now as assistant treasurer. She has sought membership and education within each professional association along the way, including the Treasurer-Collector Mentorship and Certification Program. Her educational background in accounting, coupled with experience and training as a town accountant, give her a complete perspective and working knowledge of municipal finance laws, practices, and compliance. Michaela finds herself employed by the city at a time when we are facing technical challenges with our financial software, calling for changes in the way transactions and data are handled. An upgrade 20 months ago has strained the city's ability to meet deadlines and remain compliant with state and federal requirements. In the midst of this, Michaela has spearheaded research on the issues, eager to propose and implement solutions. Finally, this Treasurer-Collector appointment comes before you at a time when cities and towns across the Commonwealth find it very difficult to fill financial roles. Just this week, the city learned that a Commonwealth Fellow we were set to host this summer has withdrawn from the state's program set up specifically to address the critical professional shortage. In Michaela, the city of Fitchburg has a practicing professional who understands and is dedicated to the city and its employees, and who has a concrete vision for solving its complex problems by applying her education, experience, research, and collaborative work ethic. I am confident in her steady, committed leadership as well as her skillful ability. I believe that she is exactly the kind of individual that will bring the city forward amidst a generational shift in the municipal finance environment. And I enthusiastically recommend Michaela. Thank you.
Councillor Green.
Either Jackie or Michaela, can you speak on what some of the what solutions you have brought forward for the implementation and what that would entail?
So we have had a lot of communication issues with the school department in regards to payroll. I have taken it upon myself to learn the payroll process using my previous experience and implementing different procedures and processes to make things more efficient so that we're kind of filling the gaps and the cracks that things are seeming to fall through.
Has that issue in school payroll been addressed, or is it getting better?
It's getting better.
Okay.
We're actively having meetings with the school department to kind of bridge the gap of communication.
Had there been a lack of communication for a while?
I believe so.
Okay.
There's been a lot of turnover in employees in different positions.
In school, in the payroll department?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your commitment to see it through, so I commend you for that.
Thank you.
Councillor Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Councillor Green, for her question. I had a similar question myself. My other question, because you're going to be in tax collection as well, What sort of strategies do you think the city could implement to improve upon our collecting practices?
I think getting resources out to residents regarding dates and when their taxes are due is a huge concern I see at the window. A lot of them aren't informed of when things are due exactly. Maybe providing them more notices. There could be maybe some documentation provided when their tax bills are sent out.
Okay. And regarding sort of strategies for collection of back taxes and some of our scofflaw violators, your thoughts on that?
I think maybe sending out more notice. I believe right now we only send one. And providing them more notice and maybe ahead of time providing more notice before their properties are in that status.
Mm-hmm. Do you think in some circumstances they're well aware that they owe back taxes and just choose not to pay?
Yes.
What about for individuals like that?
Can you repeat that?
What about for individuals like that?
I think educating them on maybe the backlash of not paying their taxes and kind of prepping them on the foreclosure process and things like that, just providing them resources to help better educate them on taxes and what they need to do.
Mm-hmm. And the city continues to put names in the newspaper, correct?
Yes, we do.
Who are delinquent on their taxes. What about increasing that strategy to, say, social media? I don't know if anybody reads the paper anymore, but we do have a city website. Could 25, 50 names go on the website?
I'm not entirely sure. That's something I would need to research, but I do believe that listing it in the newspaper, you have to have it in a few different public places in order to do an official taking. Mm-hmm. So I think updating some of those resources in some of those places would be beneficial.
I think so as well. I don't think anybody wants to see their name. They say they don't want to see their name in the paper now. I think they don't want to see their name on Facebook or social media. So I think that's a strategy maybe we could explore and let them, of course, give them all the notice in the world, you know.
Yep.
And X amount of days you're going to be on the city's website, unless you get on this plan or something of that nature. But I'm in support of this. You seem like the right fit for the role. But I hope that some of these ideas and implementation strategies you can bring to tax collection as well. I think we should start getting a little more creative in that department. So welcome aboard. I yield the floor.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Approved. All right, the next is a new appointment, full-time special police officer to the Fitchburg Police Department, James R. Archipreet. Am I saying that name correctly? Yes.
She said you weren't going to get it right.
I knew I wasn't going to get it right. I never get it right.
I missed it. What was it?
Archipretti.
Archipre?
Yeah.
Archipretti.
Archipreet. Okay.
Archipretti.
All right. Yeah.
You can have a seat, Jamie. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, City Councilors. It's an honor to stand in front of you tonight to ask for your approval of Detective Archipretti to become a special police officer for the city of Fitchburg. Jamie has worked for the city for 29 years. He's held many different roles during his tenure as a police officer. He worked for me in the Detective Bureau many years ago. He's had an exemplary career, and like many of our officers, when it's time to retire, they still want to get out there 1 or 2 days a week and have the opportunity to continue to serve and still wear this uniform that we wore for 30 years of our life. So through this request to the mayor's office, I hope you find it appropriate to appoint him as a special police officer under our city ordinance so we can continue to give back to the city. You know, while I have this floor, I think it's important that I remind the viewing public and the councilors of what a special police officer is, because there's been a lot of misinformation put out there on special police officers. When we have a police officer required, we have an ordinance that we can make an appointment, no matter what their rank is, to become a special police officer. What, in essence, that is happening is we're swearing them in as police officers. They have the full support of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts as police officers. They're certified in the post. All of our special police officers, they go through 40 to 50 hours of training on their own. They don't get paid for that, so they can remain as a certified police officer. So when you see the special, you really can't tell who they are because they're wearing a uniform, but when they're out there working details, they have the full authority as a sworn police officer. Some days that augments my daytime workforce by 10 to 12 police officers that can respond in an emergency, and they have the full authority under the color of law to take action. I don't realize how lucky we are to have that type of capability in case something during the daytime happens, something horrific happens. I have this amount of sworn police officers that's not costing us anything. They're working details, most of the time for private companies, but more importantly, they bring with them the full authority as a police officer is recognized through post. And there's been a lot of misinformation about that, so I just wanted to take this moment to clarify what a special police officer is in the city of Fitchburg and what they bring to the table, you know, and what they sacrifice. They spend 30 years of their career, and then I tell them, hey, you have to train for 40 hours for free. Well, they're willing to do that because they don't want to quite give up the opportunity to wear a uniform that they wore for 30 years. And like I said, Jamie's been with us for 29 years. He's had a fabulous career. I hate to see him leave as a full-timer, but, you know, he'll be around for a couple days a week, hopefully, doing details, you know, with your approval tonight. So I'd be happy to answer any questions relative to Detective Archipetti, relative to what a special police officer is defined is, what their definition is in the city of Fitchburg.
Thank you, Chief. Councilor Green.
Yes, so Mr. Green and myself have known Officer Archipetti for that full 29 years that he's been on the force, and I will say that he is, amongst many in your department, but an exemplary member of what community members should look forward to in peace or police officers, because he's exemplified that for his whole career on Fitchburg Police. So I look forward to still seeing him being actively involved on our force. So I appreciate the appointment. So we'll full-heartedly support that.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
Second.
On the motion, Detective Archipetti, I am well experienced being a criminal defense attorney. You make my job very hard. But I appreciate what you do for the city of Fitchburg. So I will definitely vote in favor. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for your support.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We stand adjourned.